Okay, I was coming home from Washington, D.C., and it was around 10:30 at night, and the temperature was rising. Earlier that day, it was frozen, but it was 60 on Saturday. It was in the 40s, and I turned to come to my neighborhood, run down Contention, and I was stunned. One, it's a very steep hill, and as soon as I had to put on my brake, my car just started turning sideways, and it ran into the hill, and I just thought to myself, oh, this stinks. Like, what did I do to my car? But then I couldn't even believe it. It just slowly started to roll over.
How many times did you roll?
It just rolled over twice, and the first time it rolled, I thought, oh, please don't roll again. But now I'm thankful it did roll again, because I never would have been able to get out if it just had rolled once. I don't know how I would have. So it rolled over onto the hood, but I hit my head and I just didn't have my bearings, and I couldn't figure out how to get out of the car. I couldn't find my phone. I had my iPad, but it was like, what is this going to do, my iPad? So I just beat my horn. It was all I knew what to do.
And then you heard this? Do you live off of Contention somewhere?
I live on Contention.
Oh, okay.
And sure, I live on Contention Lane, right where the slope of the mountain, slopes downward into the valley. So I'm familiar with the spot where she crashed. I was in my house. I heard a boom, and it was her car flipping, I believe. And I heard the honking, so I rushed out. And I've lived there 34 years. I sort of know the woods. I had no chance of running up the street because it was all glazed with ice. So I ran through the woods, and until I got to her vehicle, it was pitch black. And when I finally saw her vehicle upside down, it took my breath away. I was shocked. I thought that maybe this person's dead or dying. But I heard her voice soon after, and she was saying, help me. And so
it was whimpering, help me, help me.
But I remember thinking that she seems calm, given the circumstances. So anyway, I opened up the door, and it was actually her, the passenger side, which was closer to me, was stuck or locked. So I rushed around and I slipped on ice. It was difficult just to make a simple turn around her car, and I was thinking the whole time, maybe the car's going to slide away. Thankfully, I got to the driver's side door, opened it up. I saw her hanging upside down as if she were a pilot who had crashed in the jungle. Thankfully, she was wearing her seatbelt.
Yeah, thankfully.
Kids.
Seatbelts work.
And thankfully, no one else was in the car with me, too. I'm thankful of that.
And thankfully, nobody else was coming down the street at that time.
Because you were right in the middle of Contention.
I was so worried that the car was going to go on fire first, just from being upside down, and it was still on. And then I knew if somebody else came down the street, they wouldn't be able to stop. Because even when the police got there, they got out of their cars and they fell because it was so icy there that night.
What did you think when you saw him?
I literally thought as soon as I saw him, everything was going to be okay. I just knew, I had this sense that he was this good soul and he was there to save me and everything was going to be fine. I think you had said I was calm, and I think I was just so relieved that to get out of the car, and I just knew I was in good hands. So,
have you ever done anything like this before? Are you a first responder? Or
no.
Is your dad? Is somebody really? Because Walt knows your dad.
Okay,
that's why I was thinking he must be a firefighter or something.
No, I've worked with first responders, police officers, emergency guys, because I'm in sort of security, private security.
Okay.
But my father was a former prosecutor. He's an attorney. No, but in terms of hands-on first response, I don't have experience. But I just
it's kind of new. Something I need to go check out because.
I just felt compelled to help. It was a night when there was other cars crashing. So I sort of had I guess you could say, a first responder attitude that night. And, I feel a little bit protective because it's my street, I kind of feel like I know the street. And even when I was a kid, I remember there was yellow school buses that would slide off the road. And I remember giving, my mom sort of helping. I was following my mom give the driver coffee while she hung sort of halfway off the street. So I guess that would be my history. Just on Contention Lane, I've been a first responder.
And unfortunately, I didn't know that history, but now I do, and I don't go down the street as often.
Well, thank you both very much.